We're going to try to solve another polynomial inequality, and we're going to graph the solution set again. And with other videos, this is the second installment, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult. But if we can do it here, then you can do it on your own all the time. Again, remember we need to set this equal to 0 basically. So I'm going to have to add 6x and add 1 to both sides. So I'm going to get 2x squared plus 6x plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Okay, that's great. So now I need to solve it. Can I factor it? That's the first thing you want to ask yourselves. So are there any factors of 2 and any factors of 1 that add up to be 6? And we know that's impossible to do. So here comes the bad news. That means we're going to have to use the quadratic equation. So remember we need to know what our a, b, and c is. So here's a, here's b, and here's c. So my quadratic formula says that x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So what I want you to do is I want you to solve this out and then come back and check your answer. So hopefully when you solved your quadratic equation, this is what you got. Now, notice that even though I have minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 7 over 2, in order to be able to do my solution set, I'm going to have to put that on a number line. So make sure that you've gone ahead and gone through and given decimal approximations. I recommend you give at least 1 decimal point so that you can figure out exactly where that's going to be on your number line. So what we want to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to graph that so we know where we can pick our numbers. And I've got minus 2.8. And then I've got a minus 0.18. Now remember when I talk about intervals, there's going to be 3 intervals. So I've got those. Now I need to pick a number in each one of those intervals. And so there's some questions about knowing which one to pick, so I'm going to try to color code it to make it a little bit easier. I need a number that is less than negative 2.8. So I'm going to pick minus 3. We said that, remember, if you're in the middle, if you can pick a 0, that's what we want. Well, we can't do that on the middle one, but we can pick a 0 over here on the right. So now I have to pick a number that's between negative 2.8 and negative 0.18. Well, I think negative 1 looks pretty good for that. So what I want you to do is I want you to go through and calculate each one of these so we can figure out which interval is true. So these are the answers that you should have come up with when you evaluated the original equation with the numbers that we picked for our intervals. Now we notice there is only one interval where it's actually true, and that was the blue interval. So I'm going to rewrite that on number line, and this time I want to use it with the actual solutions that we got and not our approximations. So this is going to be minus 3 minus the square root of 7 over 2, and this is going to be 3 minus 3 plus the square root of 7 over 2. And we said it could be in between them, and remember it's equal to. So you're going to have your square bracket, and then you're going to shade in the middle. And remember, I can also write it in interval notation. Either way, make sure you know how to do it in case either one is asked on an exam.